everybody. This is Phil Walton. I'm a Snap Creator Ambassador, and today I want to walk through the Snap's Gen AI suite with you guys and just kind of give you a quick rundown of how it works and what you can do with it. So let's take a look, get started. Okay, so here we have Lens Studio 5.0, and this is where you can find it. You can either go up here and hit this Gen AI suite button that's next to the preview lens, or you can come up here in the scene hierarchy and it shows up right there. And what you'll notice at first, it takes you to the AI chat, and this is the same AI chat feature that is in the documentation for Lens Studio. So you can ask it questions about how to do stuff. If you're stuck, you're like, oh, this isn't working, or I want to figure out how to add a feature or something like that to your lenses, you can just type that in here. So try it out real quick. How do I add a segmentation layer? And so it'll think about it and give you a quick answer from the documentation. And that'll just give you a little step-by-step instructions. Very helpful. So let's take a look at the Gen AI features and see what we can do with it. So coming over here, let's look at the ML face effect first. So I've used this feature quite a bit, made a few quite popular lenses. It's really fun, and there's two different ways you can use it. You can insert an image of your choice into there, and it can base your generated result off of that, or you can type in a text prompt. So let's type in a text prompt here and see what it comes out with. Let's just say Frankenstein monster head. So that's our prompt. There's different presets here you can go. This is kind of a creepy one, so let's change that to the creepy preset. The effect intensity is how strong you want it to be. These other settings for like user identity is how strong you want the effect versus the user's original face. So you can kind of go through that on your own, and you can set these up to max if you want it to be more based towards the user, or you can just leave them all on their original preset settings and just hit generate when you're done, and that'll queue it up. It'll take a little while to generate. In the meantime, let's try an image prompt, and so we'll just click on this plus button, go to my pictures. I made one for this tutorial images. And here we've got a little George Washington one here. So, I mean, you can try these. The best results kind of work from images with a plain background. Photorealistic works better. And make sure you just follow the guidelines for what they have set up for these. So let's just hit generate on that. And that's off and running. So those are going to take a while to generate. So we can just close this out and come back to that later. We entered our prompt. Remember that smiling George Washington. So here is the finished effect right here. Just say import to project, and you can see it right away there in action. It's kind of a subtle effect, but you can turn it off and on. Try it on some different people to see what it looks like. Actually, the quality of these are certainly improved from the early days, but it's a very nice effect. The next thing I want to look at is 3D assets. So I've used this quite a bit as well. This, you just can type in some kind of prompt based on whatever kind of 3D object you want, and it'll generate that. Or you can also do an image reference. Let's just try it with a text prompt here. So, scary unicorn. Negative prompt is what you don't want to see. I think we'll just leave it with what we have right now and hit generate on that. And so this is first gonna come up with 4 possibilities, and then you can kind of pick the one you want, and then it'll generate like a higher res version of that. And I don't know what's going on with number 4 here. So I think we get a winner between either like this first one or the third one. I like the third one better because of the way the legs are. So let's highlight that, and then we'll just say generate asset. And so that's queued up. That's gonna take a little while to complete, so we can close that out. And you can see there it is. It's finished. Scary unicorn. Now all we have to do is say import to project, and it gives us an option here to put what kind of quality we want. Let's take a high quality model and just import it. And you can see there it shows up right in our project. So this would be handy in like a world scene if you're doing like ground tracking or something like that. We could do some face tracking, put a head binding on there, and attach that to the head binding. This is one little critique I have of this thing right now, is that you can't see it in the preview window, and you can't really do anything with it as it is a component, and that's just like how they had to set things up so it processed. But it is a useful tool that you can use to create 3D objects, and hopefully it'll become a little more user-friendly in the future, but it's available to you right now. So here's the AI generated texture. Let's say you've got an object and you want a specific texture for it. You can come in here and just try to get the AI to generate one. So let's go shell and hit generate, see what happens. So that at least gave us a rudimentary one. It's not super detailed, but we can always add a 3D object to our scene. Head mesh, and go to the texture. Just apply that as our base texture and see what happens. That's kind of fun. Go back to the Gen AI suite here and take a look at what else we have. All right, this is the immersive effect. And so this gives you a whole like screen effect thing going on here, and you can do that from an image prompt. I actually generated a fun image prompt earlier that I want to try. So let's open up our tutorial images here, and I made this fun fish collage. That's what I wanted to try here. And so let's generate it based on that. You can also do it as a text and just type in something you want to see as a text, but I think it's kind of fun to work from images because it gives you a better idea of what the final result's going to be. So let's hit generate on that. These take a while, so it's queued up. Let's see how that one's doing. All right, here's our fish collage. Look at that. That's pretty wild. Yeah, that's kind of fun. Let's very like modern art. So let's create a model based on that. Just hit this create model button. It'll queue it up. And so that's gonna take 8 to 10 hours for training. So we'll definitely have to check back up on that once it's done. Thing and see how that turned out. So you can see that it is finished generating the model for this. We can click on it and see what it looks like. It was based off of the little fish collage here. And all we have to do is say import to project and give it a second. And you can see that, hey, there's our effect now. You can see what it looks like there in the preview window. Hey, that's pretty fun. Head morph. So these are kind of fun. These will give you kind of a 3D head thing that will go on the user and actually adds morphs and stuff to that, so you can follow your expressions. So you can see I've worked extensively with this, creating a lot of different fun things, and let's try Sonic the Badger. See what it does. And you've got different intensity levels here. and that'll just kind of tell you how deep you want the features to be. If they're really shallow, you can say low, or you want it to be like really intense. Like some of these dragon heads, I tried like a high intensity in there, but let's just try medium for now and see what it comes up with. Part of the fun of all of these, I think, is just the experimentation, trying different things, and you just kind of never know what kind of results you're going to get, and they can be really fun sometimes. So there's also this surprise me button where you can just hit that, and it'll just come up with a automated prompt here. And let's try that one as well. So give us a couple different options. We'll come back to that and see what happens. Head morph. So we made the Sonic the Badger here, and here's this other one, octopus head. Let's try the Sonic the Badger one. Click on it. Kind of happy with how it looks. Import to project, and it should import with everything you need. And you can see even like the morphs are attached here to her face. Let's do a different preview video so you can see that in action. But yeah, so you can see it actually kind of moves with the effects on her face, which is fun. Look at the face mask generated effect here. So this is pretty simple. You just type in the prompt that you want, and it'll generate a texture that'll work with a face mask here. So I tried this a second ago with Basset Hound, and it worked. Let's try something else here. Siamese cat. Hit generate. Not quite Siamese, but it's a cute little cat. So let's just hit apply. It gave us a texture for that. We'll go back to our scene, hit plus, go to face, add a face mask, and then you can open up your texture here. And so there's your face mask texture. So you just grab that, drop that guy right in there, and see, yeah, for your cat. It's kind of fun. All right, next let's take a look at the PBR material generation function in the Gen AI suite. So when we bring this up, we can see that there's some preloaded models that you can choose from, or you can select your own. So I'm going to select my own here, and this is a GLB format. I've tried it with FBX and OBJ, and those didn't really work. So found that GLB works the best. So we're just going to type what kind of texture we want in here and see what the results come out with. Let's try, we got a potato here, so let's do a birthday cake potato. So we'll type that in, hit generate, and it's going to take a little bit to process. So we'll just come back and check on this in a second. So here we have our birthday cake potato. Wow, that looks fun. All right, so let's just hit apply, and it will actually import a model. All right, so we've imported that model to our scene and added a head binding here so we can attach that to the head. Let's see what we got here. See, it looks kind of dark and funky, but there's actually something you can do about this. So there's our model. We're going to come in and select the imported file, right click on it, and then just say unpack. And that'll actually import it fully into our scene. And then we're going to go into the materials, select our material here, and right down here in the metallic roughness setting, there's this occlusion strength here, and then we just dial that all the way back. And then actually it looks semi-decent here if you enjoy a birthday cake potato, which don't knock it till you try it. But there we have our PBR imported texture that we just generated on the fly here. So I think that I covered everything here. Hopefully you enjoyed this quick overview of all of the very awesome Gen AI tools that you have now available inside Lens Studio. I hope you try them out, make some awesome lenses with it, and feel free to send them on to me so I can check them out when you're done. All right, thanks guys. I appreciate you watching this video, and stay tuned for more stuff from me.